Hello everyone, welcome to Chess 5, and today I'm going to show you the game between Garry Kasparov versus Veselin Topalov. This is the game from Wijk Nge2 tournament which was held in 1999. This was the one of the best games in the world. So here you love this game. Here Garry Kasparov is white and Veselin Topalov is black. So let's start the game. So Garry Kasparov started with 1 e4, d6, d4, knight to f6, knight to c3, g6, bishop to e3, bishop g7, queen to d2. So Garry Kasparov's idea is to castle long. So it's the Pirc defense. Here c6. So Topalov wants to attack with b5 and a5. So here Garry Kasparov play f3. The idea is to play g4 and h4 when Topalov does the short castle. So here b5, knight to e2, knight to d7, and now bishop to h6. The idea is to trade the bishop on g7. So here bishop into h6, queen into h6. Now black cannot no longer can castle short as the queen is guarding the f8 square. So here bishop to b7, a3, stopping b4 which can come in the future. So here e5. Guys, e5 was not a great move. Here Topalov should have played a5. This is much good because here there are some ideas like b4, and here when white does long castle, black can go b4 in the future, and black always have something like ideas with e6 and e5 because e5 can always be played. That's why Topalov should have gone a5 at the place of e5. But okay, e5, here long castle, queen to e7. So Topalov is also getting ready for long castle because now the options are open for Topalov. He can go long castle or even short castle. So here king b1, a6, knight to c1, long castle, knight to b3, e into d4, rook into e4, c5, rook to d1, knight to b6, g3, king to b8, knight to a5. The idea of knight to a4 is to get this bishop on b7. So here Topalov played bishop to a8, restricting any trades. So here bishop to h3. You guys, you can see the bishop is so strong on h3 as the bishop is controlling the whole diagonal. Here d5, opening up the position. Here queen to f4, king a7, rook e1, d4, knight to d5, attacking the queen on e7 and as well as the knight on f6. So here knight into d5, e into d5. Now the rook is attacking the queen on e7. So here queen to d6, asking for a queen trade. But here Garry Kasparov played an excellent and fantastic move, rook into d4, sacrificing the rook on d4. So Topalov just accepted it by playing c into d4. Guys, this was a blunder by Topalov because here comes the brilliant move. Try to find the move. I give you a couple of seconds. So those who have found the right move, congratulations. This move is just very tough to see. Here comes rook to e7 check. Here Garry Kasparov is giving up the rook. Here Topalov played king to b6. But if Topalov capture, a queen into e7, then coming queen into d4 check. So king b8 is forced. Now come queen b6 check. Here king cannot go to c8 because bishop is covering the square. So if queen cannot come to b7 because queen is hanging. So the fourth move is to play here bishop to b7. But now comes knight to c6 check, attacking the king as well as the queen. And bishop cannot take the knight because bishop is pinned. So after something like king 8, which is forced. Now the right move is not to take the queen but simply queen a7 checkmate. This could be the idea. That's why after rook e7 check, Topalov decided to go king to b6. But now comes queen into d4 check, king into a5, and now b4 check. Here king a4, queen to c3. The idea is to checkmate Topalov by playing queen b3 checkmate. So here Topalov take the pawn on d5, guarding the b3 square. Here rook to a7. The idea is to play rook into a6 checkmate. So here Topalov played bishop to b7, protecting the a6 square. But here Garry Kasparov played rook into b7. The queen cannot take the rook on b7 because of queen b3 checkmate. That's why after rook into b7, Topalov played queen to c4, asking for a queen trade. But here Garry Kasparov played queen into f6. The idea is to checkmate the black king by taking the pawn on a6. So here Topalov played king into a3, queen into a6 check, king into b4. And guys, here take a couple of seconds and try to find the best move for white in this position. For those who have found the right move, congratulations on finding the best and the only move to win in this position. If you put this position in engine will also not able to find this move, or if it is a very strong engine, then it will find, but it will take a very much time. The right move is to play in this position is c3 check. Here there are two ways to capture the pawn with the king as well as the queen. So here Topalov played king into c3. If Topalov have played queen into c3, then there is queen into b5 check, king to a3 force, rook to a7 check, queen a5 forced, here rook into a5 checkmate. That's why after c3 check, Topalov captured with the king, king into c3, but now comes queen a1 check, king d2, queen b2 check, king d1, bishop f1, threatening threatening the queen on c4. So rook to d2. Here rook to d7, a fantastic move. Rook cannot take the queen because there is a pin. That's why here comes rook into d7. Here comes bishop into c4, b into c4, queen into h8, rook to d3, queen to a8, now c3, hoping to give a check and make a queen on c1. But here comes queen to a4 check. Pawn cannot be pushed because simply captures and take the rook. That's why after c2, after queen to a4 check, Topalov played king to e1, and now f4, f5, king c1, rook d2, queen a7, and guys, after queen a7, in this position, Topalov resigns the game. Guys, it was a fantastic game, as we can see when Garry Kasparov played c3, as well as in the position here, yes, when Topalov played rook e7. What a fantastic move. It is very hard to find. And also when Garry Kasparov played c3 check, it is very difficult to find the move actually, guys, because c3 nobody plays it. So guys, this was the game between Garry Kasparov versus Veselin Topalov. If you like this game, then please like it, share it, subscribe it, and thank you for watching.
You just walk right out the door. Don't wanna do this anymore. Now I'm lost without you.